Hey everyone, I'm Nidoking, this is Rayman, and for today's level I got a very special guest who really enjoys Allegro Presto.
I'm FirstAidKite.
Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with musical terms, Allegro and Presto are both words that mean fast, and that really covers this level. It's kind of like Sonic, only faster, I think. And yes, I just hit the entrance and got booted out of the level.
Good job.
Well, what you want to do is jump over the entrance, because there's a bunch of power-ups down here that are really helpful.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Whenever I played and beat this game as a child, I only remember that section right there.
That is pretty
Nothing
memorable.
else.
I mean, the problem with this level is you got to keep up your momentum, because you got to go uphill while you're ducking. And if you run out of momentum, you die.
Yeah, pretty much I could never keep the momentum, from what I remember. In fact, this might have been one of the levels where my stepsister helped me beat it. Yeah.
I think if I had somebody to help me beat any levels of this game, they'd probably just play through the whole game and I'd watch. Anyway, we would have invented Let's Play about 5 years before it actually happened.
I know, right?
Yep, and amazing. You only get one try at that.
Wait a second, you're not even supposed to be up here yet.
Why not?
Isn't that one of the, Isn't that...
It's probably easier to get once you've got the helicopter power, but if you manage to jump over the uphill parts while you're making your initial descent, you can pick up enough momentum to get there.
I never actually knew that you could get up there without the helicopter power-up, honestly.
A couple of times I had so much momentum I landed on the ledge instead of grabbing it and just kept sliding across. I had to throw out the fist to stop myself from falling off the far edge.
Well then.
Hey, it's your favorite part.
Oh no. Oh no. Boo-wah! Boo-wah! Boo-wah!
Yep, these trumpets are the most annoying part, probably, of the entire game. And the worst part of it is, this is the easiest part of the level because there's no way to die. You just have to keep falling down and climbing back up. So I got a little bored and decided to have some fun with the sound effects. Kinda like that one.
What? Ubisoft.
Yeah, I had a little trouble with that part.
I don't really like Ubisoft anymore.
Actually, I just took 2 failures and looped them over and over again, but...
Oh, come on. You gotta remove that from the final take.
Maybe. People wanted to see failures.
You'll ruin the magic.
And that ledge up there, I remember, was a secret in the PC version. They had another trumpet there that would blow you onto a series of disappearing ledges, and then you had to climb up to get to a cage, and the impossible jump for 3 1-ups. This version is just a trophy and nothing else.
I think that something might be wrong with those trumpets.
Yeah, they seem kind of sick.
They seem kinda sauced.
And I hate this part. I used to not get far enough over to the left, and then I'd land on those clouds down below, and if you're not expecting it, they'll just drop you to your death. Ended a lot of recordings that way.
Well, if it helps any, at least we don't have to listen to the annoying trumpets over and over and over again in quick succession, right? Right?
Unless I decide to do some kind of bonus feature like that or something.
I'll be honest, I quite liked the rest of Allegro Presto. That wasn't those two parts that we've already seen. I think the rest of the level's quite nice, quite a fine change of pace.
And you're gonna revise that opinion as soon as you've seen it, I think. Watch what happens if you fall between those two clarinet reeds.
Nah, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, they've done a lot nastier things so far, such as forcing you to repeatedly subject yourself to being blown back and forth between two trumpets.
Now, this is the worst part of the level. The first two parts, nice and easy. Maybe they take a little practice. This part, no amount of practice helps. May not look bad so far, but look at what you gotta jump onto. I hate these maraca ledges.
Are they even... are those maracas? I could never tell.
I don't know, maracas, castanets, something.
Uh-oh, maybe castanets. I wouldn't really say maracas, especially since... yeah, that sucks.
I mean, the green ones sound like castanets.
I mean...
I don't know why I got hit there.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that first hit, but that second one's just, you know, sloppy footwork.
Yeah.
In a level where ice physics prevail.
Yeah, like on these tiny ledges. I think the
Well,
only way to cross these ledges is to jump from handhold to handhold.
Well, it's not that hard. I mean, I remember them being pretty forgiving with how far you have to be from the ledge to actually grab a hold. Now, you're pretty much just making things a lot harder on yourself by constantly jumping. You're basically building up momentum and then trying to hide the momentum by building up more momentum.
Well, the problem there is that if you don't jump, then the anti-tunes hit you and knock you off the ledges.
I mean, right there, I'm surprised you made it, but...
Yeah, I really don't know why I took that at full speed when I actually had a good recording going, but it worked.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, remember, this is the final recording. I had something like 20 different tries that I threw away because they weren't any good.
Tings, please.
Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and play the magician's little game here and look at what I gotta jump onto.
Ah, yes. 12 things, man. You're not going to make this one, are you?
No.
No, you aren't.
So at some point I decided I really needed to cut my losses and just try to get as many tings as I could. And I managed to make back most of the price of admission before I ran out of time here.
I forget, the price of admission never goes up, does it?
No, it's always 10 tings.
So, in some of these places, it's easy to just, you know, grab enough, and then at that point, if you fail, you can just keep going back in, and he'll never disappear.
Yep. I think the problem is, though, that by the time you get 10 tings, you're about to complete the level anyway. It's usually pretty tough to get 10 tings and then fail.
Oh well, it could have been worse. I mean, honestly, Rayman reminds me a lot of the Sega Genesis game that had some equally tough bonus portions called Dynamite Heady. You may have heard of it.
I've definitely heard of it. Don't think I ever played it.
Its bonus levels were basically playing basketball. And the basketball was very tough, and the only way to unlock the super secret alternate ending was to, of course, finish playing basketball as many times as you could in order to nice death. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, once you actually get moving, you're pretty much toast. Your
At least there's only the checkpoint right there.
Yeah. And they are pretty good about giving you a checkpoint where you really need it. There's extra health down there. I have no idea how to get it and survive.
They're not good at giving you proper checkpoints. Who are you trying to fool?
They could have put it in a much worse place in this level. here's how you're supposed to take this part. Nice and slow. Make all the jumps. And then this part again. And this is my nemesis. This is where I pretty much always lose all the lives I'm going to.
If the one thing you can remember is that you lose all momentum whenever you grab onto an edge.
Yeah, but grabbing onto edges a lot of times is even harder than just landing on the ledge and getting off safely.
Now, speaking of ledges, these are the guys that always struck me as weird. They never seem to match with the rest of the level theme.
Yeah, and the next level's full of them.
I mean, they're not holding instruments. They themselves are not instrument players.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and I don't remember whether they appear later in the game either.
They may or may not.
But here's our bonus scene, here's me going, hey, let's be stupid again, and it actually works out.
This is some pretty sweet music.
Mm-hmm.
Was the music, you may have already mentioned this before, but was the music any different between this and the PC version? I think someone in the thread mentioned Bandland's main theme being different, but other than that...
I don't remember it being any different. But, yeah, I don't even know why I came up here.
It's some pretty nice jazz either way.
Yeah, I mean, I should probably go back and listen to the PC soundtrack again just to see if there's any difference, but I remember it sounding exactly the same. The only difference I've noticed is when you get the sign at the end and he does that little dance, goes, yeah! It doesn't play the little riff in the PC version.
That's a shame.
He just goes, yeah! Which I think sounds a lot better.
I don't know, I kinda like the riff. I mean, then again, I can't really imagine a Rayman game without a riff at the end of a level. I mean, imagine if Rayman the Great Escape didn't have that little ditty where he dances at the end. Imagine if he only did the dance.
I haven't actually played that one. I don't think.
Really? I thought you played the Great Escape.
You talking Rayman 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rayman 2, the Great Escape.
I played the N64 version of it, but I don't remember much about it except that I hated everything.
That's pretty precise. But then again, you hate everything here, so
no, actually,
maybe...
this game's a lot of fun. I like it, it's just really hard and takes a lot of tries to get through most of the levels. Rayman 2 on N64 took way too many tries to get through the levels and had N64 controls. I think that's just a horrible combination.
It could be a heck of a lot worse.
I guess
so I
you
noticed... Oh my...
Yeah, Mr. Sax, but all I have to do is hit one note back at him and he trumps off. And we'll get to meet him later and fight him for real. That was just to show me, once I do get up to him, how do you hurt him?
Well, at the very least, they've got some pretty good music in Bandland, which makes sense. It is Bandland.
Yeah,
and then
I think the whole soundtrack is pretty good. Particularly the boss music, which unfortunately you only get to hear once each.
Yeah.
So here we get the Hair Helicopter, which is
a Rayman staple.
The most important power in the entire game, except for maybe the fist. And that'll be the end of the level. So guess what I get to do next time? Move on to the Blue Mountains.
Wait a second.
No, I don't hate my life quite that much. Instead,
yeah, you're not allowed to go yet.
I'm going to be going to Gong Heights, which sucks, but at least it's still Bandland.
Gong Heights was pretty good.